So now we will discuss the chapter 2, summary of chapter 2, entitled Configure a Network Operating System. Every computer requires an operating system to function, including computer-based network devices such as switches, routers, access points, and firewalls. These network devices use an operating system called a network operating system. So a network operating system enables device hardware to function and provides an interface of users to interact. In the CCNA course of study, students learn to configure both devices that connect to the network, or from end devices such as PC and devices that connect networks together, or the intermediary devices like routers and switches. Learning to configure the Cisco Inter-Network Operating System, or the Cisco IOS, on Cisco routers and switches is a large part of the Cisco CCNA program of study. The Cisco Inter-Network Operating System, or IOS, is a generic term for the collection of network operating systems used by Cisco networking devices. Cisco IOS is used for most Cisco devices regardless of the type size. So, operating systems. All end devices and network devices require an operating system, or the OS. The portion of the OS that interacts directly with the computer hardware is known as the kernel. The portion that interfaces with applications and the user is known as the shell. The user can interact with the shell using a command line interface, or the CLI, or a graphical user interface, or the GUI. When using a CLI, the user interacts directly with the system in a text-based environment by entering commands on the keyboard and a command prompt. The system executes the command, often providing textual output. The CLI requires very little overhead to operate. However, it does require that the user have knowledge of the underlying structure that controls the system. The GUI interface, such as Windows OS X, Apple iOS, or Android, allows the user to interact with the system using an environment of graphical icons, menus, and windows. The GUI example is more user-friendly and requires less knowledge of the underlying command structure that controls the system. For this reason, many individuals rely on GUI environments. However, GUIs may not always be available to provide all of the features available in the CLI. GUIs can also fail, crash, or simply not operate as specified. For these reasons, network devices are typically assessed through a CLI. The CLI is less resource intensive and very stable when compared to GUI. The network operating system used on Cisco devices is called the Cisco Inter-Network Operating System. The Cisco IOS is used for most Cisco devices regardless of the type or size of the device. So here's the note. The operating system on home routers is usually called firmware. The most common method or configuring a home router is by using a web browser-based GUI. So, when we say shell, so the user interface that allows user to request specific tasks from the computer. This request can be made either through the CLI or GUI interfaces. So next, the kernel. It communicates between the hardware and software of a computer and manages how hardware resources are used to meet software requirements. And last, the hardware. So the hardware is the physical part of a computer, including underlying electronics. So now, chapter 2 summary is entitled Configure a Network Operating System. Cisco IOS is a term that encompasses a number of different operating systems which runs on various networking devices. The technician can enter commands to configure or program the device to perform various networking functions. Cisco IOS routers and switches perform functions that network professionals depend upon to make their networks operate as expected. The services provided by the Cisco IOS are accessed using a command line interface with the CLI, which is accessed by either the console port, the AUX port, or through SSH or Telnet. After connected to the CLI, network technicians can make configuration changes to Cisco IOS devices. The Cisco IOS is assigned as a modal operating system, which means a network technician must navigate through various hierarchical modes of the IOS. Each mode supports different IOS commands. Cisco IOS routers and switches support a similar modal operating system, support similar command structures, and support many of the same commands. In addition, both devices are identical initial configuration steps when implementing them in a network. This chapter introduced the Cisco IOS. It detailed the various modes of the Cisco IOS and examined the basic command structure that is used to configure it. It also walked through the initial settings of a Cisco IOS switch device, including setting a name, limiting access to the device configuration, configuring banner messages, and saving the configuration. So now we are done learning the chapter 2, and I hope you learn much. And for the next chapter, the chapter 3 explores how packets are moved across the network infrastructure and introduce you to the rules of packet communication. So thank you for watching and see you on the next video.